Well, good morning. This is Karen with Veronica's Dreams Coaching and Tarot, and today we are going to do our daily reading. I'm going to use the Runik Tarot. It's been like so good. For my personal readings, it's just been really, really spot on. So I'm going to keep it for a while. And with that, I also do personal readings. So link to my websites below. We're going to just take a look at current situation, present influence, what we don't see, what to watch for, and advice. Keep it really short. This is our daily reading. And let's take one quick second. What do we need to know today? Whew. Okie dokie. Current situation. Temperance. Present influence. Ten of Cups. What we don't see. Five of Cups. Well, that's rough. What to look for. Nine of Pentacles. Where does this lead? Advice. Why did I ask that? Well, we're going to clarify that because I don't like that. Kind of a rough day. So we have Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I would say this probably has something to do with the stability, could be your home, could be work, could be your finances. I don't, this does not feel relational to me. It feels more, something more around your home or work. Just with all the cards that are here. So Temperance is our current situation. And I feel like there's this, the Temperance is about alchemy. It's about emotional balance. It's about, it's kind of that feeling. And this card, like there's something, this card in this deck is one of the only cards that really doesn't like reach to me. I mean, she has the long hair, and Temperance is almost always beautiful in all the decks. So it is to me something about beauty, but something about it's something that you've been trying to create. So I feel like this is, if you've been trying to create something, and when I say create, it could be a lot of different things. Let's say at work, it's, maybe create a project, or if it's at home, you're trying to create a space or an idea. It's something you've been working on probably in your head, but you've been putting pieces into place to see how that's going to work. That's what I feel like this is, and I'm not really. That's all intuition, really. The influence of that is to me like a coming together, people coming together. Um, so this is 10 of Cups, and normally it's about, right, the ultimate relationship. And it could be the influence of the idea of having this be the ultimate thing, whatever the idea is that you're putting together. And the reason why I say that too is that the outcome is the Three of Swords, which is really not easy. So this is kind of important to you for sure, because we don't get the Three of Swords for things that aren't important to us usually. Now, I'm going to take a step back with that. Sometimes it's just the card comes up and says, this is, gonna make you sad, or it might hurt, but it might be very small. I don't feel that way because what we don't see is the Five of Cups. So I feel like it's more, a little bit harder than we think. But I do feel like there's this, I feel like there's this part of this situation where you're trying, the creation is kind of like, bringing things together, it is. So what you don't see is the Five of Cups. And I would say this, you're not really understanding how important it is to you, because it's something we don't see. And I think whatever's happening here is more important to you than you may believe or may have realized. And that's where the disappointment comes in, because you had a lot more expectations than you thought you did. So your idea was that you didn't have a lot of expectations, or that you weren't expecting, or that you knew it was important, but you had no idea how important. And that's why when things don't quite work out, you kind of it kind of hurts. And that's where the disappointment comes in, and that's where you're like, oh my gosh, I was, now I don't have this, and I really, really wanted it, you know? And that will come to light. So, what to watch for is the Nine of Pentacles, which is a good idea. I mean, this is really important, right? So, this is kind of advice to this, watch for that. Watch for, it's not only watch for the, how successful you really are, where your successes are, watch for the things that you do well. So often when we have this Five of Cups, right, we're focusing on what we don't have. We're not focusing on what we do have. And that's what the Nine of Pentacles is, offsetting that Five of Cups a little bit. Look for what you have. Look for what you've done. Focus on that, because things don't always work out the way we want them to, or the way we expect them to. But it doesn't mean things are over, and it doesn't mean other things can't happen. But that's to get us out of that funk, because that Five of Cups can be a real funk. So your advice is Five of Pentacles. And this is about, it's a little bit about being patient, but I think to me, there's this part of, it's okay to go look for something else. So you've got the one guy that's hurt here, and you've got the other guy that's going to go look for help. And I'm almost getting the impression here, and I'm focused on this guy going to get help. And that's what I feel like the advice is. Where you're looking for help, you're not getting it. So what's to say about going to somewhere else to find help? Why not? Why, open up that, what do you call it, pathway, and go find help in a different way. I really do. I feel like that's because it hurts, and it's going to hurt until you find that help. And I think that's important, because the ending is the Three of Swords. I don't know if I've ever read the Three of Swords in this book. And the only reason why I'm reading it is because he's got the axe, and I look at that and I think, oh my God, that hurts. He's got swords in his back. He's got the axe, and they all mean the same things, right? So the overall meaning of every card is really close to the red or white, but they always have a couple key words that make me go, Emotional release, physical pain, betrayal, rejection from peers, questioning your choices. All seems hopeless. Three of Swords shows what happens when the mind is met with a struggle for the first time. It desires to shut down and stop the process moving forward. While it is good to quiet the mind and start processing what is going on, completely shutting down doesn't do any good. It's time to experience what is going on, identify and contain the feelings before moving on. In the Runik Tarot, the Three of Swords breaks away from the traditional meaning of heartbreak. This is an impact message that describes an absolute end. So, something is coming to an end. But I like the advice, because it's saying don't let it, if you stop completely, then you're never going to move forward. And I feel like this is going to be hard, but you have to do it. And I think that's why the Five of Pentacles is here to remind us as advice. You just need to look elsewhere for help. It's not even necessarily help like from somebody help. It's look for the next thing. Look for what's going to make you feel better. Look for someone to help you, but doing it differently. Like, the only way you can get, because this guy is like, cold, and they need something, and sometimes you sacrifice a little bit to go find that help. But I'm not going to say this is easy. I feel like it's really hard. So any other information on this Three of Swords? Four of Wands, Six of Swords, High Priestess, and what happens after the Three of Swords if we follow advice? Eight of Cups. We walk away. We walk away for something that's no longer suiting us. So the Three of Swords says it's going to hurt, and then we say, okay, this isn't serving us anymore. Let's walk away because it's making us sad. And it shows us the Four of Wands, the Six of Swords, the High Priestess. So when I clarify the Three of Swords with the High Priestess there's a part that says, what will happen will happen. But the Four of Wands is that you're moving away from some kind of partnership that you've been celebrating that's just no longer going to suit you, and it has to be done. And it is a disappointment because you thought it was going to be more than it is. And this kind of hurts a little bit, I mean, I'm not kidding. So that's why yeah. And one more thing. What is the most positive thing today? The Death card. So there is a transformation coming. So this may be all a spiritual thing. So it may, while it may hurt and you may be changing and you may be putting an end to something, with the Death being there, it does tell us that this is supposed to happen. And when we say the best thing, that means the best thing is happening. It's not, and that's hard, right? Because we don't want to hurt. We don't want something to be over that we've been working really hard for. And I do overall get the feeling it's work. The only thing that threw me a little bit was this Four of Wands, but I do feel like that be something that you were trying to celebrate. But it's like, okay, it's not working out. And I think it's kind of, I do feel sad, but I feel like the epiphany moment, the Eight of Cups after the Three of Swords, says that you'll understand where, you'll have a different path. And that's a good thing too. So I hope this helped. Tough reading, but let me know if it resonated. Hit the like button. Do all of the things. Take care. Have a beautiful day.